Just one of many sweet moves we've seen. Obviously, it helps today we're seeing the cards, so a lot of the play we've seen in the last few days, we could very easily have just put it down to him having the best hand. But now that we actually get to see the kind of moves the guy's capable of,
yeah,
it doesn't kind of suit him. It sounds stupid, but looking at him physically, he just looks like the guy who's just popped in to play some poker, and that might work to his advantage. He just doesn't look... He kind of looks almost amateurish. He's a bit too smart. He's got the sunglasses on. And yet he is terrifying. Just a call with the pocket fours up against the raise from Sheshikov with the suited ace 4. Suited ace 7 in strawberries for Gotham. See, now it's all I can think about. Wow. Oh man, nearly a family pot. At least 3 players to flop. Don't see too many of these.
True dat. Well, that flop is King 5 deuce. Garvin pretty much whiffs. Wheel draw for Sheshikov. Vitkin still ahead with 4s. Sheshikov was the pre-flop aggressor. Opened under the gun to 125,000. And looks like he'll continue into 2 opponents. 225.
Gets rid of the best hand.
Garvin with just ace high.
And the rich get richer. Nearly 4.2 million for Pavel Sheshikov now.
Yeah. Came in as the second biggest stack. Took the chip lead early doors. Has gone up by 1.3 million over the course of the day. 4.2 million. Near enough 85 big blinds. And I hate making these predictions, Matt. And I'm not just being influenced by what the stack sizes are now. I'm also influenced by what we're seeing at the table, the dynamics, and who I think is going to cut through. But a heads-up battle between Sheshikov and Troianovsky looks like a realistic prospect, the most likely prospect. And personally, as a poker fan, as a viewer, that's kind of what I want to see.
I get you, although I must say, I've also warmed a lot to Vitkind in the last couple of days. I'd be kind of quite happy with any of the combos available. Because Gavam is kind of... He's bringing that vague random element to the table, which sometimes makes things way more interesting. Yeah. It makes it harder for the solid all-time pros to totally know what he's doing. It gives us a lot more to discuss because we're kind of scratching our heads. It's easier to sit in his seat and feel like we're him than try and sit in Troianovsky's spot and go, well, I think I know what Vlad's going to do here.
Fair point. Well, that was raise and take it for Garvin. By the way, you'll have noticed during the breaks that you haven't had any podcast in Sochi. No episode of Poker in the Ears and Eyes. I can tell you that tomorrow we are going to record a traditional episode of the podcast, an audio podcast. We'll be recapping Sochi. We're going to be interviewing Chris Moneymaker, 15th place finisher in this tournament. And one of the things we need to do, Matt, is we're still appealing for a super fan for the following week. If you're not a regular listener to the show, or you only dip in now and then, you might not know that we're going to do a review of the movie The Sting from 1973, the Paul Newman, Robert Redford film, the Best Picture Oscar winner. Because Matt, it turns out, has never seen it.
It's true. I'm slightly ashamed, but it's true, and I've confessed on that now.
So I'm rewatching it. Joe's rewatching it. If you've never seen it or haven't seen it in a while, we do encourage you to get on board as well, so we can do a kind of movie club review in a week's time, but we are also looking for someone to come on the show and be our super fan. Someone who knows The Sting or is prepared to test their knowledge of the movie against Joe Stapleton. And I can tell you that we're going to up the prizes for that edition of Superfan vs. Stape. So make sure you listen to this week's show for details on how you can be on next week's show.
It's all coming together, linking seamlessly between mediums.
So Troinovsky won that last hand with a continuation bet on the flop, bringing us to hand 88. And we're more than halfway through the level now.
There seems to be a fair amount of action, considering we've got deep stacks. Four-handed, it feels like we're getting some key... Oh, yeah. We're getting some kind of juicy hands, and we're getting some good confrontation, some good, you know, puzzles being thrown at each other on this table.
Let's be honest, a deep stack final table has its advantages. One of those being that if the players have chips, they're not frightened to play, and you're going to see more post-flop poker. I don't really remember, Matt, but back in the day, and we've never done it on our live tours, but some live events would have a situation where when they got to the final table, especially if they were televising the final table, they would roll the blinds back a few levels.
Yes.
Because that way the players would be deeper and it would encourage more play. It would make for better poker and therefore better TV.
Yeah, it always seemed a bit stupid. Well, not stupid, that's a bit harsh. But it seemed like a wasted opportunity when you've got these incredible players, the cream of the crop, like risen to the top, the best players out these huge fields. But by the time we actually get to see them going about their craft, it's all monkey tennis, and everyone's got an average of 25 big blinds.
At the same time, I don't like the idea of interfering in the structure of a tournament for the sake of the coverage.
No,
and there was a flip side to when they rolled the blinds back, which is when it's like, we've got a TV show now, it's then switched to 20-minute levels and get it to its conclusion.
Yeah, I think much better to study and manipulate and adjust your structure so that it naturally gets to a good conclusion.
Yes.
Voila.
So
Meanwhile,
picking up the action here, yeah. Shershikov raised pre, obviously Garvin flop best, check on the flop, check on the turn, 7 on the river, Garvin still best with a pair of 9s, and he will value bet. Question is, do we get an ace high hero call from Shershikov?
Bet 210. Bet this.
The fold from Shershikov. And Garvin chips up to nearly 50 big blinds. Punisher, who we know has been very active on Twitter all week, has been with us pretty much every day of our live coverage, says, I've never heard of The Sting. Well, Punisher, I suggest you find out more, find a copy of it, either on digital HD or Blu-ray or DVD, and give it a watch. As I said, it won the Best Picture for 1973. Paul Newman, Robert Redford, Robert Shaw, great actors, huge stars. It's a really fun movie. It involves gambling, it involves poker in one scene, so there's plenty for you to enjoy. And you know me, Matt, I don't accept the excuse, well, I wasn't born, so I've never heard of this. It's like, you've heard of the Beatles, haven't you? Let's be honest, they existed before most of us were born.
quality hand here on the button for Vitkin.
8 raise 115. Third pass.
Any customers, not the Jack-8, says Garvin.
8-6 for Troinovsky.
Blah. Vladimir Troinovsky has been forced into mostly folding for some time now. Sure that won't be getting to him though. Been in this situation way too many times to start panicking and getting bored and playing hands he shouldn't. And he's got way more enough chips to just wait this dry session out. Hilarious trolls on Twitch saying, "What is the Beatles?" Yeah, yeah.
9-5 under the gun. Vitkin folds. Garvin with 6-3 on the button. So this is going to be a potential blind-on-blind confrontation. King 4 for Vlad.
That might be good enough. He's been patient, been quiet.
King 4 against Jack 4. And would you believe it, there is a 4 on the flop plus a king, so 2 pair for Vlad. Shershikov, look at that percentage, less than 1%.
And there was me crowning Vlad earlier on today as king of the 2 pair. I was being a bit glib, but actually now it seems to be coming through. So, you're welcome.
Well, I mean, he's been known as Vlad 2 pair Troinovsky for at least 3 years now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, did I say 3 years? I meant 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds more believable.
So a bet of 60,000 called by Shershikov with second pair. And that queen on the turn will see Shershikov drawing dead.
Is it wrong of me? I was hoping that would be a 4 of hearts.
Bet 125. That's the worst.
Troinovsky bets again, 125,000. And it is one of those spots where it's hard to fold a pair, especially in an unraised pot. But Shershikov does fold. And Troinovsky narrows the gap. Shershikov still leads with 3.9 million. Vlad sits behind him with 3.7 million. Both players with more than 75 big blinds. Garvam hovering around the 50 big blind mark, and Vitkin bringing up the rear with 30 bigs.
Basically.
8 plus.
Gonna try and sneak a little competition in, incidentally, because I'm aware we're running out of opportunities to give stuff away, and we have stuff to give away, so it seems rude to not get through it.
What's left, Matt? What do you want to give away with this one?
Well, I'm thinking about doing a combo prize and giving away a drawstring bag that's got a water bottle in it.
Love it.
So wait for this hand, because this is quite a sexy starting hand for Gavam here, just in case this turns in something.
He's raised it to 135,000. Oh, and Vlad's got a little ace in the big.
Let's take a flop. 10 Jack 3, 2 spades.
Pairs for both players. Second pair for Garvam, bottom pair for Vlad.
And Vlad got a bit of additional action. Got a potential backdoor nuts flush. Got himself the overcard. They could make something of this, I'm sure.
135.
As you rightly said, sometimes it's hard to make a pair, so when you both hit, and you've got some added equity to get excited about, why not get involved?
So 135,000 apiece. 9 on the turn. The board gets straight here. Garvan picks up a straight draw to go with his pair and is now a 9-1 favourite.
Bet 240.
Garvan betting bigger now. 240,000 into 560,000, and Vlad folds. So tell us about your competition, Matt.
Right, I mean, I'm slightly conflicted now because I said I'd give away a drawstring bag with a water bottle in it. Steve Ryan is asking, could I instead give away a water bottle with a drawstring bag in it? No, I can't do that. Okay, we're going to run on Twitter, so please do come to hashtag PokerStarsTV. It's a map browse you couldn't possibly know and will probably never get it. But this morning I had some downtime. I was reading a magazine that had a top 50 most powerful superheroes.
Oh,
And
God.
I threw the magazine to the floor in disgust when I came to number 11. Because I was just disgusted. In the top 3, you know, we had Wonder Woman, we had Superman, we had the Hulk. You know, absolutely no arguments. Number 11 disgusted me. Who was in at number 11 as the most powerful superhero? That's it. That's all you've got to come through with. Hashtag PokerStarsTV.
So the clues are there, obviously, because it's going to be not a top-tier superhero. It's going to be not going to be someone who you necessarily like or respect.
I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. And I'll give you, if we don't get anywhere close, because there is a good chance that you couldn't possibly know and will probably never get it, I'll give you... Well, actually, I don't know how I can help you, but we'll see how we go.
Well, I'll ask one question. As someone who is not the Marvel nerd that you are, would I have heard of this character?
I can't answer that. And when we get closer to the answer, you'll understand why I can't answer that.
Okay.
See, people coming with Batman. I wouldn't have a problem with Batman, but let's see how it goes.
Meanwhile, registration is opened in today's PokerStars TV free roll, so get yourself in.
That's it.
$2,000 in the prize pool. You'll find it in the lobby by searching PokerStars TV. And today's free roll password is Hanyu. Capital H, lowercase A-N-Y-U. Hanyu. We're going to leave it on the screen. There you go, the top left-hand corner. And do you know what, Matt? I think we are still going to be here at 9:15 Central European Summertime. I think there's a very good chance we are still on air when the free roll starts. So I am going to register for the free roll.
Oh.
Hanyu. I am in. No bounty, before you ask. So we have gone to a flop here. Vitkind against Shershikov. Shershikov has paired his 4, but it's trip queens for Vitkind.
Ka-ching.
I see some entries are coming through.
That one just says, Aquaman. Blooming Aquaman.
Bet 110. That's the lead.
Nothing more soul-destroying than seeing less than 1% on your screen. Let's it go. Let's it go. Spider sense tingling. That's not a clue, by the way. Ryan's gone for a human torch. No, I wouldn't have a problem with a human torch. Spawn? No, I wouldn't mind that. Martian Manhunter? I was disgusted. Disgusted that it was in this list. Green Lantern? No, I quite like Green Lantern when Kyle took over. I wasn't a Hal fan. The Doctor. It's not right, but it's the kind of thing where you go, hang on a minute. Look at these guys just chilling. Ho, ho, ho. I sounded more like the Green Giant than Father Christmas, I'll grant you.
1 of 5 race.
Nice. Everyone just chilling on the rail. This could be danger. Under the gun for Vladimir Troianovsky, ace 8 off. Shershikov hitting the deck like a pro. Ace king suited. Congratulations on being dealt a very good hand. She-Ra, not right.
315 race. Past
I mean, Ace 8 has got to look premium here, hasn't it?
There's a knowing smirk from Vladimir Troinovsky under that hand.
It's so funny because Shoshikov's just nothing. No emotion. Meh. Just Cyclops down the middle of the table, get the visors off. And Vladimir, look at him. He's having such a lovely time. Let's it go. Spider sense. It's amazing.
Now, some of the answers, what am I saying? Many of the answers coming through on hashtag PokerStarsTV to your competition, Matt, are not superheroes.
Well, that might be the way to have infuriated me, because people are saying things like Pac-Man or Doctor Who, Danger Mouse. I mean, Danger Mouse is, I mean, it's not a superhero, but you kind of understand it. But I can tell you the correct answer has been out. I just love watching you guys squirm for a while. I can tell you, at number 9 was The Flash. Understandable. At number 12, Deadpool. Okay. Number 11. Unbelievable.
I'm intrigued. I look forward to hearing the answer very shortly.
I'll let you guys just stew for a bit longer, then I'll let you know who's got it right and who's the winner.
Показали бы нам хоть его карту, интересно было, что он там ушел.
Professor X, I mean, he isn't much of a superhero, but he does, you know, he does his bit. He gets involved.
What do you mean he's not much of a superhero?
Well, I
He's the
don't...
most powerful brain in the world.
Yeah, but if I could flick a switch and get superpowers, I want to fly at least. I want to burst into flames. I don't know if that would be the superpower I go for, is being a real powerful telepath.
But if I was a telepath, I could control you as you try to fly, and I could make you crash into a wall.
That's your evil plan? James Hudson gets the power. Oh, I'm gonna make everyone crash into a wall. Evil, pure evil.
Check.
Okay, who's involved in the action here? What's going on here? It's a limp. It's blind on blind.
Yeah, once again, it's Troinovsky against Shershikov in the blinds. 10-3 against 7 deuce. Troinovsky ahead with a pair of threes. Shershikov with a 2 high flush draw.
Там 7-2 какие-то.
Ну, снимаю с пики. Пика. Не хочется видеть.
Troinovsky wins this one with a bet on the turn. Still pretty close between him and Shershikov at the top end of the leaderboard.
Quite enjoying all the nerds getting involved and starting to argue about different positions. Joe 90. No. Wolverine. No, he didn't score as highly as I thought.
Joe 90, the puppet.
Yeah. It's not that. That's not the correct answer. Howard the Duck. Even that I wouldn't have a massive problem with. All right, I'm going to reveal this. So in at number 11,
right,
between the Flash, you know, one of the original Silver Age Flash, great. Deadpool, one of the more modern ones, fantastic. At number 11 of the most powerful superheroes, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That's not a superhero.
Exactly! It's like Doctor Who. It's not a superhero. Actually, no, Doctor Who wasn't in there. Somebody suggested that. But, and the other one, the closest to annoying me was one of the Ninja Mutant Hero Turtle things. And I thought, I'll accept that, but it feels like it's not a classic superhero. But
now, did they just run out of superheroes and have to kind of pad it out with non-superheroes? Or was it a case that they had some contractual obligation towards mentioning certain TV shows?
I don't know. It was an Entertainment Today, and it was the 50 most powerful. And I mean, because after because it started at number 1. Number 1 they had as Wonder Woman, which was strange to me, and then Batman was ahead of Superman.
Because the Wonder Woman movie's out. This sounds like a piece of advertorial to me.
Well, possibly so. But I mean, after Buffy, we had Deadpool and we had Phoenix and we had loads of legits. But I nearly threw the magazine to the floor in disgust.
You see, once again, I bring up the fact that I get laughed at for taking Bond seriously, but look how worked up you're getting over this.
And by my calculations, the first person that came through, I think some people actually Googled it because there was suddenly a slew, was Ben Martin. Ben Martin, congratulations. You were the first person I saw come through quite early on, and I let it hang for a while. You win either a drawstring bag with a water bottle in it, or you can have a water bottle with a drawstring bag in it. I'll let you choose.
Well, this hand has gone to the river. It's Shershikov against Troianovsky once
Ни
again.
одной красной.
Обе красные.
У меня одна черная. И вторая тоже.
And Troianovsky rivered his opponent, paired his jack, one overcard.
Все время дно на батоне.
He does that a lot, I've noticed. When he's not being king of the two-pair, he is king of the river get-there.
As we enter the final 15 minutes of level 26. A quarter of an hour to go until the next break. And here's how things stand. It's tied at the top. Shershikov and Troianovsky. Garvam on 50 big blinds. Vitkind on 31. And a reminder that the next blind level is 30,000, 60,000 with a 10,000 ante.
Just going through to make sure that no one could possibly
Я пытался просто
challenge me
заблефовать.
on having picked Ben Martin.
Ты же понимаешь, раз две черных, то очень часто
Yeah,
совпадение.
definitely the first person to say Buffy was Ben Martin. Congratulations, mate. Thanks everyone else for playing. I think it's disgusting myself.
На ривере блефовать легче.
I mean, I don't know what the James Bond equivalent of, you know, saying the best gadget ever was and then saying something that wasn't a gadget. I mean, I don't know what it was, but you can imagine how it was.
Oh, aces. Shershikov has raised the button with fake aces, ace 4. Vitkind's got the real deal in the small blind.
Eight raise 300. Top pass.
Re-raise to 300,000. And Shershikov will fold. Just realised, by the way, that was hand number 100.
Oh, happy birthday.
Восемь. Восемь, было. 8, не бросим.
Got to keep your lips moist. This looks more like a shelter than an audience. It's a dreadful thing to say, I know. I apologize immediately.
Турнир. Дипстек, по двушке с чем-то там.
Наигрался. Не добрал.
На бабле?
Raise 1 of
Почти
5.
на бабле снялся.
Raise to pick.
As McIntyre asks, how do I get into the free roll? Well, I'm going to presume that you've got the password, which is on the screen right now. What you need to do is fire up the PokerStars client, and we always assume that everyone is already a PokerStars player and has the client on their computer. Oh, hang on a sec.
Сколько первая?
Oh!
I'll tell you what, McIntyre, hold fire. I will answer your question, but I want to see how this plays out. Troianovsky has raised with King Jack suited. Shershikov has flattered on the button with Queen Jack, but Garvam has woken up with a monster in the big blind. Pocket Kings.
See, I think this is going to get an enormous amount of respect. Like any other player, you might think, oh, he's spotted an opportunity for a squeeze here. But
Raise 380. Raise
380,000.
you know, if this was heads up, you could see Troianovsky walking straight into this. But I just think Garvam is pretty tighty-tighty, and I think that's his image. It's just such a gorgeous hand of the King Jack. I think if and when Troianovsky shows any interest in this. See, look, he lets it go, and I'm not surprised about that. It seems like such a monster hand to let go, but I totally understand that in the flow.
So returning to McIntyre's question, now this is very important. I'm assuming And it's a big assumption to make that you are living in a part of the world where you can legally play real money poker on PokerStars. Assuming you can, then you're allowed to download the client from PokerStars.com, open an account for free, you don't have to make a deposit, and then if you search in the tournament lobby for PokerStars TV, you'll find today's free roll. I can tell you that right now, nearly 3,000 players have registered for the free roll, and you use the password that is on the screen right now. But I appreciate that some of you are watching from the United States of America. Sorry, it's not open to you. And there are certain other countries in the world where, sadly, you can't currently play real money poker on Stars. And granted, it's free to enter, but because the prizes are real cash money, you do have to be a real cash money player.
Third pass.
And meanwhile, Michael Zajac has really made me laugh. He said, I had a briefcase that if you got the combination wrong, it didn't open. Yeah, you know what you got there, Michael. You got a briefcase. That's what you've got there. But, very nice. Very nice. Punisher says, I guess I will sleep tomorrow. This isn't going to end anytime soon. I got a funny feeling the last time Punisher checked in what the time was in New Zealand, I think it was like 2 a.m. And I've got a feeling that was a couple of hours ago.
Vitkind against Troianovski once again. King 9 against Queen Deuce. Well, it's all Vitkind. He's got a lock on it now. Top pair on the flop. Troianovski does not improve on the turn. And with a delayed continuation bet on the turn, Vitkind will win this pot. 8 minutes left on the level. So confirmation, there will be a 20-minute break at the end of level 26. After that 20-minute break, level 27. Is that logical? 30-60. And at the end of that level, I think we will take the dinner break this evening. So chances are there'll be an extended break after the next level in the Sochi main event.
Только если так, с телефона, сидя тут. Когда играл, конечно.
Johnny Love on Twitch says it's currently 1:40 a.m. in Australia, but this is way too interesting to leave. Good. Glad to have you guys captured. It is an interesting dynamic. And I gotta say, I'm a big fan of having Gavam in the middle of this, because he's kind of just a different dynamic to the whole shebang.
Рейзи.
That was a walk.
Wow.
Shashikov.
6, 2,
Kind.
5, 2. Какое количество двоек за сегодня увидел? Весь школьный период столько не было.
So as previously mentioned, we're recording the podcast tomorrow. Even though this is our last live stream before Barcelona, we will continue to produce episodes of the podcast for the next few weeks. Then that goes on summer hiatus during late June and for the month of July, but we're back in August. So new shows most weeks with guests, competitions, your chance to be a super fan. Available on SoundCloud or to download from iTunes or Stitcher. And that is a walk for Dmitry Vitkind.
Well, this isn't giving us a lot to do, is it?
Может, это выпьем все по 100 грамм, договоримся, и игра быстрее пойдет.
Запретили. Давно бы уже заказали Бехеревку.
Mike H sends his love from Chicago.
Как Поняк вышел
Good to hear from you.
на финал Купейна, они
People
запретили
around the world.
И что там сделала?
потреблять алкоголь.
Выпил все запасы бить. А так ничего.
Он
особенного.
устроил там какой-то беспредел, что ли, за столом?
Ой, беспредел, просто даром отнимал деньги, но потом ему просто не повезло. Он пару проиграл, потом еще проиграл сверху. Он там просто
A little bit of info about what's coming up in the aforementioned break in 5 minutes.
должен был
A little bit of
выиграть.
Elky action for you.
В чем весь
Back
алкоголь?
in the Bahamas in 2009.
Поняк без алкоголя, без
Glory
Бехеревки.
days.
Classic.
Classic Elky.
Ты видел его? Так что не каждый может похвастаться.
So Vitkind completes
It's 1:30.
in the small blind. Garvam
Look at this.
raises from the big blind.
Now hang on, ace 4.
Тоже не запрещаю.
Ace 4 Garvam, this feels familiar.
Ну, чуть-чуть.
Ну, там, что они же не могут вообще человека
Контролировать.
в кандалы посадить. Просто он же, вот хайроллер здесь был какой-то, ну такой недорогой, ну, первый,
10
понятно.
8 7. Vitkin
Там
hits
выпил.
big.
Прилично.
Not much for
Графин.
Garvam to get too excited about.
Графинов.
Has got the momentum.
Ну что, я
Does
скандал
not
поднял. Там,
continue.
сказал, что надо ВАДА писать, брать анализы,
А, что, типа допинг?
конечно.
Bet 150.
Прислушались.
Vitkin leads the turn for 150,000. Ace high could still be the best hand, but Garvan folds.
Pass.
Just 3 minutes left on the level now.
Gotta say, looking at the stacks, it doesn't feel like that increase the next level is gonna immediately be apparent. But as you said, it's all about the ante.
Насколько они были?
Gonna
Yeah.
chew away at people, isn't it?
The anti-doubling from
Пикнул.
5,000 to 10,000.
Народу столько же.
Да нет, конечно, там 50 человек подверли села минимум.
Shershikov. Ace Jack.
Спартак что-то там обоил, слышал, 20 человек посадил.
Raises to 130,000.
Bet pass.
Trying off his big. Oh, King Queen
Супер,
suited.
Именно мой большой блайнд столько ставит, что невозможно защищать им.
Брейки.
Raise 400. Yeah.
I think that's a 3-bet from Vlad. Re-raising to 400,000.
Видимо, не хочешь играть.
Ace Jack just gonna call here. Shushikov doesn't really seem to be the sort that so far has been ready to 4-bet pre.
Wow.
Gonna let it go. Wow! That, I really didn't expect that. I mean, I guess the thing is, if you don't want to 4-bet,
Начинать.
by rights you're then saying you're calling, and calling with the Ace Jack to see a flop, and yeah, I kind of understand it,
Рисуйте мне дом.
but it seems very, very disciplined here.
Чтобы в масть. Бубну. У меня в бубну было.
Vlad chip leader once again. The gap between him and Shershikov pretty tight.
Also, I guess, not, you know, unfeasible. These guys, we're kind of focusing on the chips and the cards. These guys have been playing a lot together, so the chance of them picking up just a general vibe, not necessarily a tell, but, you know, their instincts would be pretty tuned into each other right now. It's going to be very handy.
Raise 115.
Well, this is likely to be the last hand of the level. Although, if it's a simple raise and take it, which it is, I think we will squeeze in one more.
Quickly, everyone, quickly!
Hand 111 coming up. Nelson.
Oh, hang on. You lied to me. Tricked me.
Oh, I didn't see that Shershikov had ace 4. Didn't realise he was going to spoil it.
Well, look, hang on. It might be worth it, because look, they both hit something. The 8's for Vitkin. Shershikov connects with the 4.
125. Bet. Still lots of bet.
Did Bond ever have sunglasses that looked through Moneypenny's top? Someone's suggesting that on Twitch. I don't remember that.
He had X-ray spectacles in The World Is Not Enough when he went into the casino and was enjoying looking at women in dresses. The idea is that he could see if anyone was carrying guns, and the joke was that everyone in this casino was in Baku was carrying guns.
That's quite amusing. And quite pervy. Oh, look, Vitkin. Whatever. Ugh. Top pair ace kicker. Will draw. Well, that card, a bit of a passion killer.
Is it a board that Vitkind is happy to bet for value?
Ладно, я думаю, все равно моя.
I wouldn't have thought so, no. Not surprised. The passion killer. Look, he was all ready to mug that. I don't think he expected to win that in a million years, but 8 beats the 4.
Well, that last orbit was pretty good for Vitkind. He's got his stack up to
Ты платишь?
2.2 million, but remember, when we come back from break, the blinds will be up. And he is still the shortest stack at the table. Mind you, 36 big blinds.
А у меня не тяжелый час?
У всех, по-моему, тяжелый час.
Тяжелый час, офигеть.
Third in chips, Sayed Garvam with 40 big blinds. 54 bigs for Shershikov. 60 big blinds for Vladimir Trinovsky, the current chip leader at this 4-handed final table. More live action from the PokerStars Championship Sochi main event final table coming up in 20 minutes' time here on PokerStars TV. Join us in 20.